are one of the most fun thing to draw because of the amount of expressions you can create with it. So today I'm gonna show you the basics of drawing the eyes even if you're just new to drawing.
Okay, so if you're drawing the entire face, you should draw the shape of the entire head first so that we know where we'll put the eyes. I've created a couple of tutorials on how to draw heads in front view and in various angles, so if you'd like to learn more, click the eye icon on the top right of the video. So once we've drawn the basic shape of the head, let's draw the center line so that we know where the character is facing. After that, we're gonna draw a horizontal line so we know where we put the eyes. I usually use this line to indicate where the bottom of the eyes are, so I usually place this a bit lower. Next is to draw the shape of the eyes you like. We're not doing a realistic style here, so feel free to go nuts with this. I showed in the previous video how you can create different looking faces with different eye shapes, so you can check that out after you watch this. If you're not happy with what it looks like or you think it's misaligned, erase it and try again until it looks right to you. You can draw an extra thin line just a little above to depict the eyelid.
Personally, I find drawing the eyes in front view more challenging because of the symmetry.
It's easier if you're drawing digital since you can copy and paste one eye to the other side. However, if you're drawing traditional, here's what you can do to check the symmetry. Hold the paper and flip it and point it towards a light source. The light will help you see the mirror drawing and you can see if the eyes are misaligned and fix it accordingly. Typically in front view, the distance between the eyes is the same measurement as the width of a single eye. This is usually applied in realistic and semi-realistic styles. Some anime styles tend to have the eyes slightly further apart, so depending on what style you're after, be sure to keep that in mind. When I draw the eyes in 3/4 view, what I usually do first is draw the bridge of the nose, starting with this part. Since the nose is protruding from our face, I tend to draw it slightly off the center line.
Let me know in the comments below what part of this face is called because I don't really know.
Anyway, when I draw that aforementioned part of the nose, I usually tangent this curve with the center line and then curve away to draw the bridge of the nose. In 3/4 view, since the face is sort of looking away from the camera, there's obviously going to be some perspective applied, so when you draw the eye that is further away from the camera, it tends to be narrower than the opposite eye. When you're drawing the far side of the eyes, imagine the eyeballs which are, well, a ball, and wrap the shape of the eye around it. This way, it won't make the eyes look like flat paper. So now we've drawn the shape of the eye, let's draw some eyelashes by simply making the lines thick. After that, let's add some irises. You can make them big or small, and it's gonna help to make your characters look different.
It's up to you.
In some anime styles, the irises shape are oval, but if you're doing semi-realistic or realistic, they tend to be circular. When you're drawing the irises, I tend to make the lines a bit thick because if you notice here, the iris looks to be darker by the edge. Inside the irises, we're gonna draw the pupils. You can vary the size of this as well, but don't make it too big because it might make your character look dead. Unless that's what you're after. Now, you can add some designs on this. Like the eyes in Naruto, you know, they have those Sharingan things. Some animes tend to add stars in the eyes for some reason. I usually would just leave it plain or make the top part darker like this. And I would just add highlights and shading when I do the colors. Adding highlights to the eyes make them look livelier, so I tend to add that depending on the situation. When drawing irises in 3/4 view, draw the pupil slightly on the back part of the iris. That is because the inside of the iris tends to be a cone like this. When you look at it on the side, it's like this. So drawing the pupils at the front part of the iris is technically wrong. After that, we're gonna proceed to drawing the eyebrows. In my opinion, the eyebrows really says a lot about the emotion of a character. You can draw it thick or thin, or you don't draw them. So from the end of the top of the eyelash right here, let's draw a 45-degree line, and this will be a guide on where the end of the eyebrows would be. The angle of the eyebrows depends on what kind of emotion you'd like to convey for your character. For example, if you like to make your character look angry, draw the eyebrow in a fairly straight line angling downward. If the character is happy, place the eyebrow slightly higher and curve it like this. Whatever angle you draw the eyebrow, just remember the 45-degree method so that you know where you can place the eyebrows. The far side of the eyebrows are connected to this part of the nose when you're drawing them in 3/4 view, and it will sometimes obscure the eye depending on what angle you draw them. I mentioned this in a previous video, but if you're drawing the eyes in an upward or downward angle, depending on what angle it is, draw one side of the eye slightly straight and the other side more curved like this. When drawing the eyes in a downward angle, angles, the eyebrows will sometimes obscure the eyes, depending on how deep the angle is. If you want to draw the eyes close, draw a thick curved line by the guideline we drew. You see, when we close our eyes, the top part moves to the bottom of the eyes. The top and bottom part don't meet in the middle. This is optional, but you can draw a thin line like this on where the top of the eye usually would be when it's open. When you're drawing a closed eye in an upward angle, instead of curving it downward, curve it upward like this so that it's aligned with the angle of the face.
Once you're done drawing the head, the eyes, and the face, you can proceed to drawing the hair. And if you click this video on the right, I will show you some tricks on how to draw some amazing anime style hair.